1,
2,
3,
4.
Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster.
Movie.
Fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honeybee.
Fun time, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. I am your host, Precious D. I am by myself this week because I caught COVID at G-Fest. So, I've been isolating, and Honeybee and I were not able to record our regular episode like we wanted to. You know, I didn't have my equipment, and it was just a whole thing. But I've got interviews that we did at G-Fest. Now, once again, for some reason, all my guests sound great, but my audio is a little jacked up. I guess I need to pull out my little portable digital recorder more than once a year and practice with it, adjust the settings, try different things. I don't know what the deal was, but I hope it won't interfere too much with your enjoyment of these interviews. And my dog is here, happy to see me back, panting in the background. Please excuse Yoli's contribution to the show. So here's the interviews. It's going to be a short one, folks. What do you want for nothing? Hopefully we'll be back to our regular schedule next week. But the thing is, we've been doing this for 3 years now, and we haven't missed a week. So rather than no episode at all, here's some interviews from G-Fest. Enjoy. Hey, we're here at G-Fest. I'm talking with Ryan Wilhelm of Toku Toy Town and Kaiju Go. How's it going for you, Ryan?
Hey man, it's Sunday Fun Day, G-Fest 2024. We're having a great time.
We're sponsoring Kaiju Go this year. What's going on with that?
Kaiju Go 2, bigger, better, back for more. We're going to have Mark and Max Nagata of Max Toy Co. We're going to be showing Godzilla vs. Biollante, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. One-day event, Saturday, August 17th. You're going to want to get your tickets at kaijugo.com. Come join the fun.
And that's going to be at the historic Texas Theater in Dallas?
The Texas Theater, indeed, my friend.
It's historic for all the wrong reasons, but it's a great theater.
All the wrong reasons, but we're bringing some kaiju fun this time.
Google it, folks.
Yes.
Ryan, it looks like you guys are having a great convention here. Got all these great glittery Safubi toys.
We do. Jay and I always say, like, all right, we can't take home everything, right? So we've got rare stuff from Marmot, M1, Marasan, Sarjarushi, you name it. If it's Safubi, we've got it.
But you don't have to be here at G-Fest to get it. You can go on their website and order stuff. The website is
TokuToyTown.com.
Ryan, thanks for talking to us today, and have a great convention. All right, we're still here at G-Fest, and we are talking to Steve Smith of Sky Turtle Nova.
Hey, how's everyone?
And they are going to be doing a new Ultraman Academy project. It's a series of young reader books.
Yeah, this is a series of middle grade books for kids, and it is licensed from Subaraya, so it's official Ultraman, and it fits within the Ultraman canon. Our first series of Ultra Academy books feature the original cast members, or the original characters from the first series. So we have Hayata, we have Fuji, so it's very exciting, but it is based on Subaraya's current initiative to bring Ultraman back to America in a strong way.
That's great. That's great. And what is this poster here for? It says coming to video soon and novelization.
Okay, so that is what we have here. Is we hosted a screening yesterday of Ultraman USA, which was also known as Ultraman: The Adventure Begins, which was produced by Hanna-Barbera in the late 80s, and so Subaraya took the masters back, remastered the color, went through the script, and fixed any inconsistencies in story to make sure it fit back in with the Ultraman canon, while introducing 3 new kaiju Sorry, 3 new Ultra characters. And so what we did is we had a screening here yesterday, but Mill Creek Entertainment is going to release this on Blu-ray and DVD next summer. And Sky Turtle Nova, my company, will be doing the novelization of this movie.
Oh, that's great. That's great. It sounds very exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm excited at my age and being an Ultraman fan from 1971 when it first aired here in Chicago, and I was 10 years old, to at my advanced age now, to finally be working on a publishing project that I absolutely believe in. So.
That's great. So what else does Sky Turtle Nova do?
Well, Sky Turtle Nova is an imprint of our bigger... our umbrella company is called Oasis Family Media, and we own Oasis Audio, which is one of the largest independent audiobook publishers in America. And then we have another imprint called Enclave Publishing. And then we have Sky Turtle Press, which is a publishing division that publishes just beautiful art books, storybooks. Actually, I'd like to say storybooks for all ages. We're publishing a modern English rendering of Edmund Spenser's The Fairy Queen this year, written by my associate publisher, Rebecca K. Reynolds. And Rebecca is the publisher of Sky Turtle Press, and we started Sky Turtle Nova to do some science fiction titles because I wanted to do Ultraman and sent her son, who at the time was 12, he's now 17, the original Ultraman series, hoping he would embrace it and convince his mom that we should do this. Instead, he was only casually interested, but Rebecca fell in love with it. And so she actually sat down to write the writer's guide for the series and ended up calling me one day and said, could I just write the first book and see how it goes? And Subaraya fell in love with it right away. And so she'll now be writing this entire series.
That's great. How many do you envision being in the series?
This series is 6 books. It's a 6-book story arc, and that's for middle grade. Our license is a blanket license for fiction. And so we're going to be doing several YA novels starting next summer. So that's for young adults. And then I can't talk about it, but we have a plan for an epic trilogy that will be geared at more older teens through adults coming within the next couple of years.
Okay. Well, this is a really good time for this with the Netflix series and the new Netflix movie of Ultraman. I think it's getting a lot of exposure that some of the younger people probably not aware of it.
What I was, and I'll tell you the truth, what I was expecting when I came here was to be pushing Ultraman on a new audience of young kids. What I have found is young kids and their parents who have already watched Ultraman Rising on Netflix in the last couple of weeks are in love with the characters from that movie, and they are exploring other Ultraman media now. And so this has not been a hard sell. This has been we have been very welcomed here.
Well, that's great, and it's really available now because Shout Factory putting out DVDs and Blu-rays, and a lot of the streaming services have it for free, so it's really easy to find and get into these days.
Right, and I will say Mill Creek Entertainment has renewed their blanket Ultraman license for home video.
Okay.
So Shout Factory is actually doing the streaming, and Mill Creek is actually releasing the home video. And again, not at liberty to say what's going on there, but they will be making a major announcement at San Diego Comic-Con in 2 weeks about their plans for the next 2 or 3 years.
Oh, cool. Well, we'll keep our ears open for that announcement.
Everyone's going to be very pleased with their announcements. So.
Cool. Well, so this series, this will be available just everywhere, like Amazon and Barnes & Noble?
Absolutely. This will be available at bookstores everywhere, obviously on Amazon, because everything's on Amazon. But it'll also be available through comic shops, because we have a strong relationship with one of the comic book distributors. And So comic shops will carry this because of the subject matter, and it will be available to comic shop owners who more and more are trying to get a younger audience into their stores.
Yeah.
So this is going to be perfect for that. These are going to be formatted similarly to the series of Unfortunate Events books. So a smaller size hardcover to start, then they'll all turn to paperback eventually after the first couple of years, and they'll be available everywhere. There'll always be news at Ultraman Connection, the website, but also our website is ultramanacademy.com.
Okay, we will include that in the episode links, and we'll go check that out when we're done here. That is all very exciting. Sadly, the comic shop in my town closed down.
Oh no.
There's not a bookstore either. There's one in the town just next door. So I'll probably getting it on Amazon. Yeah, I'll be getting it on Amazon. So be looking for that, folks, and we'll probably talk about it once it actually comes out. Well, thank you, Steve Smith, for talking to me today.
Thanks for talking to me.
And enjoy the rest of the convention. It's Sunday. It's almost over, guys.
I am enjoying every moment.
Great.
So.
All right, we are here at G-Fest still, and I am talking with Alan Henry, he's done a lot of stuff, but we're talking to him because he's done motion capture for King Kong. Welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go, Alan Henry.
Hello, thank you very much for having me.
So how did you get into doing motion capture?
It was one of those things that when I was younger, I always wanted to do this. I just didn't know what this was. Mm-hmm. So I moved around a lot, and I liked being monsters and superheroes. And fast forward to my early 20s, and I was studying at a drama school, and someone heard that I wanted to do this thing, so they invited me to talk to some people who were currently doing it. And through some favors from teachers and lecturers at my drama school, I got to see Andy Serkis, and I got to go and watch him at Peter Jackson's studio doing King Kong. And I realized that motion capture was possible. Like it was possible, and it was attainable. It was in my backyard. And through that first meeting and those connections, more conversations were had, and I was invited to audition for some films and some other projects that involved movement and creatures, and it kind of grew from there.
Wow, I just realized, so I have this game I invented called Torquemada, where you name two actors and the other person has to guess what part both those actors have played. You have to know the answer before you give them.
Right.
You can't just too random. So if I said Alan Henry and Andy Serkis, the answer would be King Kong.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, this came from the realization that both Marlon Brando and Mel Brooks have played Torquemada.
Really?
Yes. Well, there's some Columbus movie, on like the 500th anniversary or whatever, Columbus, where Marlon Brando played him, and of course Mel Brooks played him in History of the World, Part 1.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I'll just give you that game to play with your friends.
Yeah,
you start
thank you
thinking
very
of
much.
they'll start popping into your head every now and then.
Yeah, excellent.
So which Kong movies did you play Kong in?
That was Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire.
Okay, so did you work with T.J. Storm?
I haven't worked with
Okay.
TJ.
We talked to him last year.
Yeah, I haven't. I really want to work with TJ. I admire him so much, and he's such a good performer. His work was done separately to. I was at Weta FX in New Zealand, so we were getting footage sent to us to then work with.
So you were in the same movie, but you didn't work with him face to face.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a lot of people that are in animation are in that situation.
Exactly.
Okay. That's wow. So, have you always been interested in kaiju?
Yeah, I think so. I remember watching some of those early Showa era, the Heisei films with Godzilla and all of the various monsters he fought. And then, throughout my life, I've really enjoyed giant robots fighting big monsters like the Pacific Rim-esque ideas. And I've always enjoyed, cartoons, like your classic, like Magic Girl cartoons or like magical trinket superheroes where they're fighting big monsters or big bads. For a long time in New Zealand, we had samurai pizza cats. So my friends and I watched that religiously, and we would like quote the film, and we all picked a character who we wanted to be, and we'd reenact all of the fights they had.
Was this a TV series?
Yeah, it was. It was very much it's exactly what it sounds like, Samurai Pizza Cats. It was about a bunch of cats who ran a pizzeria, but when the city was under threat, they would hit a button and suit up and get into their very Super Sentai-esque suits and launch themselves across the city and protect the city from bad guys.
Well, thank goodness for that. Was this specifically a New Zealand show, or is it just something I missed?
No, I think it was just a very offbeat American show. Like we had, because the main character was called Speedy Ceviche, and then there was Guido Anchovy and Pollyanna, and they were just, Polyester, sorry, and they were just cats who ran a pizzeria.
Guido Anchovy, not at all offensive, ladies and gentlemen.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it was that kind of thing where you're like, well, are we really leaning into this? But 8-year-old Ellen was like, yeah, samurai.
Now, when I walked in, I caught you talking about Lancer. You play some role-playing games?
I play so many TTRPGs. I love it. For me, I feel like it's an incredible acting exercise, because you have to be into a world, you have to know a character and play by the rules and really think about the role that you're playing. And it's an acting exercise.
We've talked about it it's one of my passions, but occasionally it crosses over with the topic of this show, so we talk about it whenever we can. I play since COVID. All my games are online, but it means I've ended up playing more because it's more convenient.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to pack up all your crap and take it across town to someone's house.
Yeah. I mean, you have to find a nice balance, because I do enjoy all of the minis and the dice and the terrain.
I do, but it's just we've had people move away so they can keep playing with us when we play online.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm currently in a Lancer campaign. I'm just about to finish up an online Cyberpunk Carbon 2185 game, which is actually streamed with Guild Superior, some friends I've met from the US, which hopefully will lead to some more games with them. We've been talking about some Tales from the Loop or Kids on Bikes-esque games. Another friend wants to start a Call of Cthulhu game. I've ventured into a game of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, simply because of the title.
Been tempted, but I haven't played it
yet. There's another friend of mine just introduced me to 10 Candles, which is it's such a great kind of premise for a game. So yeah, I'm really loving the way that it's infusing itself into my life.
I kickstarted that Carbon 2185. We've played some of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we're playing with Ty Moore, who was one of the co-creators.
Oh, cool. That's great. Well, we could probably geek out about role-playing games all day, but you've got a convention to deal with. I don't think the autograph room's quite opened yet, but thanks for talking to us. I'll leave you to doing your actual job here. It's a pleasure to meet you, Alan Henry.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for coming to talk to me. It's always great to share this stuff with fellow weirdos who love it as well.
I am still here at... Where am I? I'm still here at G-Fest 2024, and I am talking with Jeffrey Angles, who translated the novelizations of Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again. When were these originally published?
So they were originally published in 1955, right about the time of that the second movie came out.
And they were just published in Japanese. This is the first time in English.
Yeah, that's right. There was a fan translation before that was done from Italian, I understand, but this was the first official English translation. So yeah, I've been thrilled about it. It's been so much fun, and it's just flown off the bookshelves.
So how did you end up getting this job?
So this was actually my pandemic project. When I was bored out of my skull, I was looking for something fun to do during the pandemic, and it was then that I realized that these books existed. And it just seemed crazy to me that no one had translated them. So this is the thing that I did during the pandemic to sustain myself and to give myself a little bit of fun. And I'm glad that it's had such a good response afterward.
It's a good time to do it. Godzilla's so popular right now.
I know. I wasn't even really thinking about the fact that this would be the 70th anniversary of Godzilla. And when I started working on it, I think that Godzilla -1 was only just like a rumor out in the distance. Right. So the timing worked out beautifully. Yeah.
So what other sort of writing projects have you done?
So I've done a lot of translation, some of Japanese popular literature, some of Japanese poetry. I've actually done a lot of research in Japanese poetry, an entirely different field. But now this project, the Godzilla project, was such a success that the press has asked me to do The Luminous Fairies in Mothra next, the movie that inspired the film. The book that inspired the film, and so I've finished that translation and working on the afterword right now. So it's been that too has been a blast.
When is that going to be coming out?
We officially got the word just a few days ago that all the rights had been cleared in Japan. We haven't talked about a production schedule yet, but I'm thinking about a year and 3 months from now. So probably towards the end of 2025.
I had not realized that it was inspired by a book.
Yeah, that's right. So the book was commissioned by Toho Studios. They asked a writer who was very famous during the time, a very famous mid-century Japanese writer who's kind of known for his sort of difficult French-inspired literature, and he brought a few of his friends into the foray, and so there were three authors who were involved with this. So one wrote the beginning, one wrote the middle, and one wrote the end. Yeah,
Is it a round robin?
It is. Yeah. So it's quite a quirky story.
So it's still connected to Toho. It wasn't just
that's
a
right.
pre-existing thing.
That's right. Yeah, and so the story itself was published in a magazine before the movie came out, as a bit of publicity for the film.
Mm-hmm.
So parts of the story are really interesting, and parts of it are very different from the film. So I'm hoping that fans will get all excited about the differences between the different versions.
Well, I know sometimes here we get a movie novelization that's based on a script,
Right.
but before it's actually started shooting. So sometimes there'll be extra scenes or things like that.
Yes. So in Mothra, the Luminous Fairies in Mothra, the book that there are some scenes that are completely unlike anything that you see in the film. There's long descriptions of the mythology of Infant Island. There's all sorts of details that aren't in the film at all. However, there are also a lot of things that don't appear in the book. Like, for instance, Mothra landing on Tokyo Tower and laying eggs and that sort of thing. They don't appear anywhere in there because I think that the writers figured, well, Toho Studios, Tsuburaya is going to do whatever he wants with the special effects, so we'll just kind of give those a very sketchy kind of outline. So the parts that are really fleshed out in the book are the plot points rather than the big, exciting scenes that I think that we all remember so well from the movie.
Now, do you just do translations, or do you have any of your own stuff you're working on?
I do. I've written some of my own work, but I've been writing in Japanese for my own work because it's fun. Yeah. So in English, I mostly have just been doing translations and kind of academic studies of literature. But yeah.
Well, I've been studying Japanese for about 2 years on Duolingo.
Oh yeah.
So I can say hajimemashite, and that's about it.
Well, good. That's a great way to start. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and sumimasen, which will get you through 90% of what you need to do.
That's right. Absolutely. Sumimasen is the most useful word.
That means excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. And people also sometimes use it as thank you too, like sorry for putting you out.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So it's one of the most useful words there is.
I did see a YouTube where the guy was saying, you don't need to, all the signs are in English, just learn sumimasen and a couple other things, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, it's true. Japanese people are so open-hearted and kind when people are speaking Japanese that even a few words can open a door for you.
I started studying it because I thought I wanted to go to Japan for a Godzilla convention, then I found out that this one is the biggest one in the world.
Yeah.
So, still might go someday.
I am overwhelmed with how big G-Fest is, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Like, the lines on the first day, wow.
Well, I think the last year was our first year, but I think this year's even bigger because you got 2 big movies that just came out.
Yeah. No, it's been fantastic. The turnout here is just amazing. It's been so much fun to see everybody that I know from the Kaiju universe. Yeah, all the podcasters and all the artists that we've heard of. It's been so much fun to meet everybody and see everybody's work here.
Right. Yeah. Well, thanks for talking to us today.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and good luck with your book. It's available everywhere books are sold, folks, and of course on Amazon. It is Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review us on your podcasting platform of choice. Our theme song is by the Texicano folk rock punk featuring Rita Lopez. You can support the show, find links to our social media, and leave us a voice message at anchor.fm/MNFTG.
Fun Time Go!